everyone, my name is Millie and welcome to The Performing Arts and Me. For those of you that don't know who I am a current student at Berg College training on their pre-professional foundation year course. Berg College is a UK drama school and I talk about performing arts and things like that. So if you're interested, please do subscribe so that you don't miss my future videos. So today's video I'm going to be talking about why I have chosen to be a performer as a career. Firstly, I'm sorry about the lighting situation and the fact that I'm really low in the frame. I kind of didn't get around to filming until it's like 7 o'clock in the evening, so we're relying on lights. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, today's video is about why I want to be a performer. This was something that was suggested. I put something up on my Instagram, which is at the Performing Arts and Me, so go and follow me if you don't already. I put a little sticker on my story asking if anyone had any suggestions or requests or anything, and this was something that came up, like why did I choose performing arts as a career rather than anything else that I could have chosen. So I've written some notes in my notebook. So to start with, when I was in primary school, you know how in primary school people would always be like, oh, who's most likely to be, who's going to get a job as blah 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 blah. So mine was always librarian, pretty much. Sometimes I said vet, but I didn't want to put animals to sleep. And apart from that, I didn't really know. So I liked reading, so I was just like librarian, and that's what people saw me as because I was quite quiet in primary school. So yeah, librarian it was. But yes, so it wasn't until I think maybe year 9-ish that I actually settled on wanting to do something to do with acting, drama, performing arts as a career. I think if I didn't go into performing arts, I would probably have gone into languages because that's my other secondary passion, I would say. I speak Spanish and I'm learning French, and I really love languages and culture and things like that. So that would have been like my backup career path choice. But currently, performing arts is what I'm working towards. So why do I want to do performing arts? And I might talk a bit about what I want to do in performing arts as well, because it's quite a broad spectrum. Firstly, I don't think an office job is for me. I think I would get a bit bored. Not that for some people they might find that really interesting and that's great. But for me, I think being in the same four walls, doing the same thing day after day, would get a bit boring. My brain likes to be engaged, and I think if I were just typing numbers into a spreadsheet or something, I might be a bit bored. One of the things that most attracts me about performing arts, if you've ever been on stage and you know that feeling that you get either when you're on stage or when you take your bows or just after you finish, that thrill you get sometimes, I don't know whether it's from adrenaline or what, that feeling is so great. If you haven't experienced it, then it's really hard to describe it to you, and I'm really sorry about that. But it's amazing, and that feeling just makes it worth it. So that's kind of the main reason why I would want to be on stage. Also, the kind of bonds that you form with people when you're making a show and things like that, like the friendships you make, the is it camaraderie? Is that how you say it? I don't know. That feeling of you're all in it together. You got the show is what you're working towards. You're all going towards it together, and I think that that is just so. Yeah, I love that as well. That's something else that I really enjoy about it. Also, I just love dancing and singing, and acting. I was asked in an audition about which was my favorite, and I was like, I'm not really sure. I think it's the music. I love good music, that to sing to, music to dance to, and I love playing as well. I'm a child at heart, so acting is kind of like playing when you're doing some types of acting. So I like playing and I like music. So dancing, singing, and acting are like the professional versions of that, if you like. I also really enjoy the backstage atmosphere when you're getting ready for a show, and all the makeup and hair, and it's like ta-da, showtime. It's just so exciting. So there are some of the things I really enjoy about performing. Now, the reason I chose it as a career was because if I'd have said to myself, oh, I really enjoy doing all of this, but to do it as a career might not be viable, I might not make enough money, I might not be able to support myself, then so I better choose something else. I think if I'd have said that to myself, I would have spent the whole of my life thinking like, oh, what if I didn't? What if I had done it and it had been the best thing ever? And I didn't want that regret. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. And it might not work out, in which case I'll have to find a plan B. Maybe I'll go back to the languages. But at least this way I've tried it. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But I won't be constantly thinking, like, what if it had gone right? Also, for me, I didn't know what else I would do. Like, I know I like languages, but I don't know what I do within that. I was quite academic at school, so I could have gone into lots of other different career paths, but none of them, I didn't enjoy any of them as much as I enjoyed performing. So I was like, that's the reason I chose it as a career, because it was the thing I enjoyed doing the most. And if that's something that is an option for you to do what you enjoy doing, then I would definitely recommend doing it, because if you're going to work at it for the rest of your life, I think it's probably best if you enjoy it. So that's my main reason why I chose the thing I loved as my career. A couple of other things to say about why I chose performing. Well, this isn't so much why I chose performing, but it's things I've come to realise. The performing arts is just so powerful. Like, you can tell stories, and those stories can change things. They can move people, they can inspire people, they can change lives. And that, to be completely honest with you, that was not the reason I originally chose to go into the performing arts. But it's something that I think is a benefit of going into the performing arts. There is a way I can make a difference to some people's lives, depending on the work I do, obviously. And that's quite a nice thing to do, even though it wasn't my primary motivation for choosing performing arts as a career at the start. Final thing, which kind of ties into me talking about what I'd like to do in the performing arts, is that it can be so varied. Like, I'm training in musical theatre, so that's singing, dancing, and acting. Um, I would love to be in musicals. That would be great. I'd love to be on the West End doing lead roles. That'd be great. But I also want to do other things as well. Like, I want to try a bit of different things. I want to do a straight play. I want to do that's a play without music, if you didn't know what that is. I want to do some TV work. I want to do some film work. I want to do some voiceover and radio work. I think that would be quite interesting. I'd like to do some singing covers or album or something related to that. Maybe dance in, not necessarily in commercials, because I'm not the best commercial dancer, but maybe after 3 years I'll be great with doing that. But I just want to like sample different things, and that's one of the other reasons I think the performing arts is a good choice for me. Again, not necessarily why it was my primary motivation, but I think being able to like change what I'm doing and not having a fixed job that I've got forever, it just means that I can change things up a bit and have a bit more variety in my life. And I think that will be more exciting for me and my brain. I think when I got to the end of primary school, I know it's primary school, but when I got to the end of primary school, I felt like I was ready to move on, that I'd got everything I needed to out of that place and I was ready to continue. And so I feel like if I were in the same job for the rest of my life, I might struggle a bit with that. So being able to like change it up every time my contract ends will be really good for me. And I want to try doing different things and learn new things. I love learning. And that's another reason why the performing arts was probably a good choice for me. As I said, I was very academic at school. And so, well, I wouldn't say lessons came easily to me, but this is like something that I'm less good at in a way. Like, I have to work harder to be good at this. Or not necessarily harder, it's a different type of work. But anyway, it's just something else I can learn to do and learn new skills. So yeah, okay, I feel like this was a bit of a rambly video, so I'm sorry about that, but I hope I've managed to make some kind of sense at some point during the video about why I love performing arts, why I've chosen it as a career, and also a little sample of some of the things that I might like to try doing in the future. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do give it a like to let me know. And please, as I've mentioned, go and follow me over on Instagram so that you can send me video suggestions when I put things on my story, or just comment down below if you have any video suggestions. If you've chosen to do performing arts as a career, then please let me know in the comments like why you've chosen it and things like that. Yeah, I hope this video has helped some of you maybe consider performing arts as a career, and I don't think I have anything else to say, so thank you very much for watching. Bye!